What's up, Jared W here, and today we have the weekly setup review of Monday Night Raw. This is setup 22, man. I can't believe it's been this long already. They started the show with Cody freaking Rhodes coming out and starting off the tournament. He said, "Well, let's start the tournament began," and that's pretty much he did that. And Seth freaking Rollins came out. You see it was their triple threat matches. They did all the qualifying matches on Raw, and then there'll be qualifying ones on SmackDown, which I think is very stupid because this title, the World Heavyweight title's made for Raw. It should be only Raw people, not SmackDown people, because then if they win, they would have to go to Raw. It's so dumb how they did that. They should have just done Raw people. So the first qualifying match was Seth Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Damian Priest. It was actually a pretty dang good match. I didn't really care about Damian Priest in the match, but Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura, absolutely amazing what they were doing during the match. If what I can recall, I don't remember them ever having a big match against each other. So it was really cool to see Shinsuke versus Seth Rollins in a match, even though Damian Priest was in it. But Damian Priest was beating up Shinsuke. Shinsuke was hurt, and then Seth Rollins grabbed Shinsuke and pedigreed him and won and got the 1-2-3 count and picked up the victory, and he made it to the semifinals, which would be ended up finding out later in the show. Next up was, I think it was Rhea Ripley versus it was not, that's an Anna Jay figure, I'm just using it. It was Dana Brooke, I think it was, and Rhea Ripley absolutely just squashed her, Dominic Mysterio out there, and it was for the title. Rhea Ripley just defending her title, and of course Rhea Ripley won and retained the title. Next up after that was the other qualifying match to get to the semifinals was Finn Balor versus The Miz versus Cody Rhodes. Really good between Cody and Finn Balor. Miz was in there and doing a pretty good job. Cody was about to win 3 crossroads. I think it was on The Miz. Finn Balor was out cold. Cody was pinning Finn Balor, about to win, and Brock Lesnar pulled him out of the ring. Brock Lesnar's, because so at Backlash, I found out he completely rammed his head into that metal ring on purpose, penetrating the ring into his skull, not his skull, but his head and the flesh on purpose, busting his head open. He had staples and stitches, and then his whole I think it was right side of his face was completely swollen, almost shut. Oh, it was purple and red. It was nasty looking, but he F5'd Cody out of the ring, and Finn Balor did the coup de grace and took the victory and made it to the semifinals. And then afterwards, Brock Lesnar F5'd Cody through the announcer's desk, and then got down on his knees with the mic, grabbed Cody by the hair, and screaming in his face into the mic, "I want to fight. I want a real fight." They always say, they want a match. Brock wanted a fight. He wants a real fight. So I don't know if they're not going to do a real fight, because in a real fight, Brock would murder Cody in 10 seconds. Because Brock Lesnar is multiple-time UFC champion, absolute beast. I would never want to mess with Brock Lesnar. But they're going to do a WWE version of a real fight, I'm assuming, because he said, "At Night of Champions, I want a real fight against you, Cody. A real fight at Night of Champions." And later at the show, Cody, limping backstage, was asked what he had to say about Brock Lesnar. He goes, I'll fight you for real at Night of Champions. I accept." So they'll be fighting at Night of Champions. I'm assuming we'll find out later what kind of real fight it'll be, or if it'll be in a Hell in a Cell or whatever it's going to be. It's not going to be a normal match, obviously, because they made it too built up. After that was Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens defended their undisputed tag titles against the Gunther's minions, pretty much the Imperium guys, and of course Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens retained those titles. It was cool to see the Imperium the first time on the show, and next week they announced Gunther will be showing up on Raw for the very first time. After that was Dominic Mysterio versus first it was Otis versus Mustafa Ali. It was actually a pretty short match, actually really mid-match. I could care less about this match. It was not that long anyways. Mustafa Ali won. Then it was Dominic Mysterio versus Xavier Woods. This match was actually really good. It went really long. It was 10-15 minutes. I don't know why it was so long. But Xavier Woods lost. There was rumors that there was going to be a reunion of a tag team last night, but never happened. I was expecting Big E to show up at the end, the Judgment Day, beating up Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston and Big E come out, and Big E returns from his neck injury because there was rumors of a tag team reunion, and that didn't happen on the show. But I was speculating that, After that was the main event. The winners of the semifinals was Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. And really good match, these two. Going back and forth, a lot of like deja vu stuff from 2016 SummerSlam when they were fighting for the Universal title for to be the very first champ. And a lot of stuff like buckle bomb onto the barricade and all that kind of stuff. But Finn Balor almost won. I actually thought for a second Finn Balor was going to win because it's so obvious that people want Seth Rollins to win. Finn Balor almost won. Then he like did the stomp. Then Rollins got up. He did the coup de grace. And then Rollins did a stomp to Finn's face instead of like how I have it posed. It was the other way around. So his face like took the boot to the face, and then he did the real stomp. And then Seth Rollins got the 1, 2, 3, and Seth Rollins will be fighting at Night of Champions. Will be in the finale for the World Heavyweight title. The other qualifying matches will be on this SmackDown this week, so it'll be very interesting to see who wins. I'm assuming it'll either be AJ Styles that'll be facing Seth Rollins, or because he's really good, he's young, and he deserves this opportunity, is Austin Theory, in my opinion. I think Austin Theory and AJ Styles should face Seth Rollins because Austin Theory and Seth Rollins have a lot of that history from the United States title feud. They should be fighting at Night of Champions, or AJ Styles, because AJ Styles hasn't had a world title like push in a long time. So either one of those should be facing Seth Rollins, because obviously Seth Rollins is going to win the World Heavyweight title. But overall, in my opinion, the show was really good. Not too many matches, but not too less. I honestly thought it was a really good show. All the qualifying matches were good. The main event was great. Xavier Woods and Dominic Mysterio put on a great match. And I'd give the show a 3.5 out of 5. But overall, great show. This is GW. Make sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more wrestling figure content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.